from Document 14 that was created by Adam Jimji. And then, while I was living in Dublin for 4 years, in 2019 I had the pleasure that finally I could work with her on a solo exhibition, which was actually revisiting her Soviet period. She moved to Moscow in the early 80s. And I was super curious in a very, very different environment. What does that mean to speak about this kind of post-Soviet situation? And how does it feel to speak about the situation in a completely different context? And it took a while for her as well. And actually, this is credited to Adam Shimczyk, that they were actually bringing out this super difficult and complex period within these works and exhibitions. But I always felt this is the first solo exhibition she has in Hungary, which I think, how would I say, she would deserve a much bigger exhibition, because each and every period, each and every chapter in her life, starting from the 70s, all through the 80s and the 90s that this exhibition is focusing on, up to now, it's so exciting if you talk about fluidity, if you talk about the changes, if you talk about transformations. That actually was the title of this brilliant exhibition in the Slovak National Gallery in 2019, that actually realized Monika Mitasheva was the curator, to actually work with her practice and work with her on an exhibition that kind of tries to connect all the different chapters through different themes and different questions. The older I get, the more I understand. The more I understand about the body, the more I understand about changes, the more I understand about what does this mean when you have a transsexual or a trans experience in your life, and how do you carry that over on the different contexts and different periods. This exhibition is also very important because when she moved back in '91 to Bratislava, that was actually still a kind of a post-perestroika Soviet space. It still didn't fall apart. She went back to Czechoslovakia, that fell apart a couple of years later. And the first thing that she started to think about after getting involved in different kind of feminist discourse is to actually work with a couple of people, academics, artists, to found a magazine, ASPEKT, which is up to now up and running, and deals a lot with women's studies, feminism, and different other subjects, translation. And so it was in this surrounding, I mean, I do remember the 90s, it wasn't easy. It seems bright now from this perspective that we are all in this kind of, how would I say, how do you like it, post-fascistic, neo-fascistic, whatever context. But the 90s also brought a lot of issues. Homophobia, it wasn't also very easy to insert certain kind of understandings, even within feminist circles. So it was a very, very complex situation, which I also understood that she kind of managed to it's not a good word to say educate, but she managed to kind of build a certain kind of understanding in a very complex relationship to the different feminisms, and also the way, and I think this exhibition incorporates that as well. That's why I selected works from the 90s, but also you have Monomorphing, which is 2017, and we have this piece, which I personally very much like, because this is a 96 piece, Turn in the Bathtub, that some of you probably saw in the session in Vienna, in her show a couple of years ago. I wanted to have this series for my exhibition in Dublin, but since it coincided with Monika's show in Bratislava, I obviously gave up on that. And then Anca and Jerzy made this series, a new series for that, so this is what I actually was exhibiting there as well. And this is beautiful because it actually connects back to the 90s and brings a lot of different understandings of the workings with the body, the relationship to the body parts, the hands, the feet, a certain kind of understanding about how you swim through these different non-binary situations. And Anja, it was fantastic that you allowed me to do this. It's, I know you are not super well, but okay guys, I'm sorry. I think I let go now. I'm very, very happy that you all came. And I'm super happy to even give personal guided tours, but